How you doing out there? Thank you for clicking that thumbnail over here at Ayo Pep. I appreciate it. And thank you very much. Over here at Ayo Pep, where we talk about the news and entertainment of mine and your favorite R&B diva of today and yesterday. That's right. I am Pepe La View. So if you see the YouTube channel out there, Pepe La View, I'm just letting you know that I'm Pepe La View as well. And I'm moving over to Ayo Pep. Me, Ayo Pep. I appreciate you guys and everybody's support. And over here, where we're discussing the R&B Diva. That's right, R&B Divas, new platform, and I appreciate that. And speaking of appreciation, I'm sending out a call of action. That's right. Let's do this. A call of action to get to that 1,000 subscribers. I know that it can be done. I know that it's possible. As a matter of fact, anything's possible. And I appreciate your support and your help. So how can you support and help? Well, I want this channel to be not just a monologue where you click on and you get information fed to you. I want you to participate. That's right. And you can start participating by what? Hitting the subscribe button, the like button, the share button, and the comment. Yes, it's very important out there. And I want to tell everybody, not just for me, but for all YouTubers out there. It's the same thing with me. It's the same thing with other YouTubers. That's right. The subscribe button, the like button, the share button, the comment button, all of that is important. It's important for you, especially if you're liking the content that you are seeing. Yes, please leave comments. People do listen. They're listening out there trying to make sure they give you the best content possible. So yes, make sure that you do that. A call to action. Numbers matters. If you want to see more of the content, more of the things you like. I know there's a lot of competition out there with different kinds of content and everything. However, that's how your voice count, is what I'm saying. If your voice count by hitting the subscribe button, hitting the like button, the share button, and the content button. Over here, what do? We talk about your favorite R&B diva of today and yesterday. Why? Why R&B divas? It could be the male crooners, right? It could be pop, jazz. But for me, I just took a liking towards R&B music, especially the R&B diva. In my household, there was a variety of music that was played. My mother, she played the latest blues and R&B music, and my grandmother, she listened to the current pop and country music. Yes, she did. That's in as you can call it, the music of the 60s and things like that. That's what my grandmother listened to. And so I just grew up listening to a variety of music, but I took a liking towards the R&B diva. Yes, I did. Is it the way she dressed? Of course. Is it the way that she looks? Yes, it is. Is it the way she moves? Absolutely. Is it the way she sings? Yes, it's all of the above, but especially for me, it's the way she just don't sing. These ladies right here sang. These are some singing divas. Yes, I've actually had the opportunity to, of course, as you know, Angela Winbush is my favorite, so I've had the opportunity to see Angela Winbush in concert several times. And I'm here to tell you, it's inspiring, it's entertaining. Oh, it's just a good quality performance. I love seeing her perform. Yes, I do. Unfortunately, I've never seen Teena Marie perform, and as you know, she's no longer with us, but she's left behind a tremendous catalog for us to enjoy, and we appreciate that. It's hard to believe. Now that I think about it, we're almost approaching 20 years. Just about, she's been gone that long. It's been 20 years since, Teena Marie passed. Yes. So let's talk about these particular ladies over here. I don't know. I was trying to figure out who I was going to put Angela Winbush in a category with. I was. And I was about to upload another video with two other divas. And then it just hit me. It was, I mean, something just out of nowhere just said, Teena Marie. And then I was saying, but what song? And yes, I was going to choose, believe it or not, Hello Beloved. Hello Beloved by Angela Winbush, written, produced, arranged, and composed, and all that stuff by Angela Winbush. A duet with her then manager. She was also dating him at the time, Ron Isley of the Isley Brothers. And they eventually married in 1993 and blah, blah, blah. All, the career, everything. They're no longer together. As a matter of fact, Angela Winbush is now remarried. She remarried, I think it was June or July of this year of 2022. She remarried after she divorced Ron, probably around about 2001, 2002. And so she's now remarried. Congratulations to you over there, Angela Winbush. Yes, but anywho, so I was trying to figure out who I was going to team her up against, and Hello Beloved came because I was going to compare Angela Winbush's Hello Beloved to Teena Marie's fight. Well, I guess you would say Rick James's Fire and Desire with Teena Marie, but now that I think about it, it's a duet with Teena Marie. It's not necessarily one of her songs. So now I'm glad that I did choose Angel by Angela Winbush and Ooh La 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 by Teena Marie. Oh my gosh, these ladies have so much in common. It's going to be tough. I haven't even decided who is going to win this category because as I put them together, I just start to discuss what I like about each one and what's similar. That's where you come in. I could miss something, right? I could miss something about these divas and their similarities or the things that they're not so similar in. And so I'm counting on you for your participation. Anywho, so let's talk about what they have. Oh my gosh, that vocal range. I'm here to tell you the concerts I've gone to see, when I've purchased tickets to see Angela Winbush, what she does with her vocals is just amazing to me. I mean, her musicianship with her band and with her background singers, but especially with her band. And then sometimes she goes off like on her own vocally, and just to see the band, her band just kind of flow with her. And shout out to Joe Johnson. I don't know if he's still her musical director. Joe Johnson is a jazz saxophonist, and he has been her musical director, I know, for several years, since probably 2006 or more. And, well, I'll talk about Joe Johnson later. However, I've gone to see her perform, and so I was Facebook friends with Joe Johnson, her musical director. And I remember, I don't know, I'm going to say maybe June 2010, when Angela Winbush had the Unsung series. Unsung did a documentary on her career. And when I found that out, I was like, oh my gosh, I was ready, glued to the TV, waited on it to air. But before it aired, if I'm not mistaken, I think she also performed that same year, or it could be 2009, the previous year, but I think it was the same year in 2010. She performed on the Monique show. She was in the juke joint. Okay, Monique would do a show, and she'll pay tribute to old school R&B artists in the juke joint. And Angela Winbush appeared there. And I remember when I found out she was going to perform as one of the performers on the at the juke joint, I sent a message to Joe Johnson because I had already been to a couple of her concerts, and I liked during Angel when she calls some of the guys out to participate in on stage with her as she sings Angel, and how she interacts with the guy on the stage as she sings Angel, and then the things she does vocally. And I remember sending a message to him on Facebook when I found out she was going to perform. And I told him, I said, you please tell Miss Winbush that I don't need her to just get on stage and just sing the song. I want her to sing that song and perform that song just like she does at the concerts. I want her to call a guy out, and to sing to, and he had told her, because that's exactly what she did. I'm going to see if I can leave the link apart at the bottom in the description of this video. Leave the link for you guys to click on the Monique show at the juke joint when Angela Winbush performed. So that's my little bit of a Angela Winbush story for you guys. Now let's get back to the task at hand. You could call it a versus if you want to, that's fine, but it's definitely not a versus in that way. It's not. It's not a versus as far as competition either. No, this here is contribution. This is my way of going back down memory lane, nostalgia, right? That's why I want you guys to participate. So if you already have an idea in mind who you're choosing over the other, that's fine, but that's not what we're doing. But let's get started. We have 2 female producers. That's who we have. And Angela Winbush came into the business through Stevie Wonder. That was, I guess you could say, professional gig, professional. Like, she graduated Howard University and she's personally called. She receives a phone call to come out to California to audition for Stevie Wonder. Now, here's the thing. I'm thinking, this is just me. I can't prove it. I just know Denise Williams releases her self-titled debut album in 1976. And this is when Angela Winbush goes out to audition in California. So 1976, 77, Angela Winbush is auditioning. And of course, she gets the gig. And I'm thinking she replaced Denise Williams. I do. Denise Williams has an incredible range. Angela Winbush, I know, has a 4-octave soprano range. So I just know she was able to fill that spot. It was like that spot was meant for her, and she filled the spot. And I'm thankful that Stevie Wonder gave her the opportunity to, display her gifts unto all of us, because she definitely inspired me in more ways than one. Teena Marie, on the other hand, she comes into this business, and she, of course, she's the protege of Rick James. We all know that story, don't we? How her face was not on the album cover. Everybody thought that she was an African-American female, very soulful lady. No one was the wiser. And on the single, I'm a Sucker for Your Love. And then boom, what happens? We find out Teena Marie is Caucasian, right? But after that, we're all sold, is what it is. And Teena Marie is definitely an R&B diva. However, we do know she's had a pop hit, that mega pop hit, Lover Girl. What was it? Probably, and I'm guessing maybe 84, maybe 83. I'm not quite sure. We're going to get into all of that stuff as well, as far as a matter of fact, it was 1984. That single Lover Girl went to number 4 on the charts, on the US charts, and number 9 on the R&B charts. So there you have it, Lover Girl. Now, both careers, you could say, kind of was slow moving, right? And I'm talking about on the production side of things, right? Angela Winbush, she starts out writing. She gets gigs as a writer first before she records anything. But now that I think about it, I take that back. She actually recorded some gospel things. If you are familiar with Richard Smallwood, legendary gospel artist Richard Smallwood, then you know that Angela Winbush is an original, what you would call Smallwood singer. It wasn't called Smallwood at the time. I think the choir was the Young Adult something choir. I'm not quite sure the name of it, but it was in Washington, D.C., was the church. And I think that Richard Smallwood's stepfather was maybe like the pastor of that church. And anywho, and of course, if you guys are aware, Angela Winbush's grandparents, the Lanes, founded, is it Bethesda Temple? in St. Louis. Anywho, that's not why we're here. I know I could get sidetracked, but I mean these ladies' careers, they have just so much. It's just so much involved in these ladies' careers that I could not even touch everything. And the things that I'm telling you right now, as I said before, we're not reading from a script. This is what I know. I followed R&B music like this in the 1980s, so I just know it. I actually read album covers. I looked for the credits. I could tell you the placement on the records and where they charted and who worked on who and what the record company was. It's just what I did, and I loved it and enjoyed it. So she records gospel, right? I think a song called Look Up and Live, a song that was re-recorded on Richard Smallwood's anthology record. She actually performed that song again, and she re-recorded it for his anthology project. So I was so happy to see her finally work with him in that capacity. So Teena Marie's career, I guess you could say, was slow moving at first as well. You know, Rick, she needed some guidance as far as how she was going to go about her career in writing and everything. And so again, Rick James just shows her the ropes. As he said, he showed her as much as he possibly could. And after the first record, he was like, well, I've shown you. There's nothing else I can show you to do. And of course, she goes in and she works with, I think his name is, what is that guy's name? It's Minnie Riperton's husband, right? It's Minnie Riperton's husband. I can't think of his name, but it's going to come to me. I know it is. And I can't think of the guy's name. Richard Rudolph. That's it. And the song was off the Lady T album, her second album in 1980, which is called Behind the Groove. I like that song a lot, Behind the Groove. And her first record, 1979, is Wild and Peaceful. And it has that hit song, I'm a Sucker for Your Love. Same thing with Angela Winbush. Even though Angela Winbush released a record in 1980, the self-titled Renee and Angela record in 1980, 1 year after Teena Marie released her record, she started out, as I said before, writing in a song, I've Learned to Respect the Power of Love, was originally recorded by a group called Alton McLean and Destiny. And of course, Stephanie Mills made it the #1 R&B hit. I think Ron Have Mercy Kersey produced that record in 1985. And for her, it was a #1 hit 2 weeks in a row for Stephanie Mills. And so Angela Winbush was writing for other artists like Lamont Dozier. Who else did she write for? Oh, Lenny Williams. She has a song on the Lenny Williams soundtrack. She has a song on the Lenny Williams Spark of Love album, the one that has Cause I Love You on it. It's a gold record. It's called Changes. She and Renee wrote that song, and it made Lenny Williams' record, as I said before, Lamont Dozier with Bittersweet, Alton McLean and Destiny, I Learned to Respect the Power of Love. And I don't know why I feel like I'm missing someone else within those years. But anywho, in 1980 is when Angela burst onto the scene with her self-titled record with Renee Moore titled Renee and Angela. And so now that's what we have. We have here is 1980 for Teena Marie, it's Lady T, and then 1980 again, Teena Marie, Irons in the Fire. And Irons in the Fire has the hit I Need Your Lovin'. We love I Need Your Lovin', right? And then for Angela Winbush, we have her, it's going to be her with her Renee and Angela days. And with Renee and Angela, in 1981, it's called Wall to Wall. Okay, and that record does pretty well for Angela for the most part. And when Renee Moore and Angela Winbush finally settled their lawsuits that involved copyright ownerships and royalties and all of that, in 1994, that's when artists started diving into the Renee and Angela catalog, And songs such as I Love You More off their 1981 album was recorded by Notorious B.I.G. It's called I Love the Dough. So keep that in mind as well from a producer and a writer standpoint. Angela Winbush record songs have been recorded by these artists again or remade, as well as she released a record in 1983 with Renee Moore called Rise that has My First Love on it. And My First Love is, of course, is a song that was remade by Kiki Wyatt and Avant. As a matter of fact, Renee and Angela received an ASCAP award for that song. And I think it's a million seller. The single is a million seller. I think the album as well, but I'm not quite sure. I'm talking about the Avant album, of course. And now we have Teena Marie, who's coming back onto the scenes in 1981 with It Must Be Magic. And It Must Be Magic has the record Square Biz on it, okay? Square Biz, which was a huge, huge hit for Teena Marie. That record was, and it went on, I believe, to be a gold record. And then you have her in 1983 with Robbery. Teena Marie. We're talking about Teena Marie now. And I can't remember any particular hits off that record that I know of, but no, I can't remember any. But anyway, so she's still, releasing music. And as I said, in 1983, Renee and Angela released a record, as I said, Rise with My First Love on it. Nothing came from Renee and Angela as far as their own release in that next year, but in 1984, Teena Marie releases Star Child, and Star Child has the hit Lover Girl on it. So that's 1984. So now what's happening with Angela Winbush's career is that if she is Teena Marie has released Lover Girl in 1984. 1985 for Renee and Angela, they're going to finally see in 1985 their hard work pay off for them, because I'm here to tell you, when it comes to the Street Called Desire record, that is like a greatest hit record. If you really want to say, give it a title in their catalog, you can say that this is the Renee and Angela's greatest hit record. Without I Love You More, which was, as I said, I Love You More was number 14 on the R&B charts. I think My First Love was number 12. And Imaginary Playmates, which was redone by Jay-Z, was number 26. So if you can see, those pretty much were their biggest hits at the time as a duo. But then in 1985, you have Save Your Love for number 1, a rap song with Curtis Blow. You have I'll Be Good. We already know that record is huge. No How, No Way, You Don't Have to Cry, and of course, Your Smile. Your Smile, the song after she left Renee Moore, that is kind of like a replica of Angel, right? Or excuse me, Angel is like a replica of Your Smile. So there you pretty much have the similarities in the ladies' career for the most part. As you can see, their sounds are pretty much similar, and their path is similar, pretty much similar as well. Angela Winbush and Teena Marie, and as Angela is finding her footing in a duo that she's later is going to, depart from, Teena Marie is finding her footing as a solo artist. So the songs are kind of similar. You can say that Square Biz and I'll Be Good are similar. You can say that they're similar. Doesn't mean that they are, but I'm just saying you could say that. And another thing too, except for Fire and Desire, when I listen to some of Tina Marie's music, you don't hear her really make maximum use of her range. I just don't hear it in certain songs, not at all. But you will right after when she releases her records after Angela Winbush released her debut record, Sharp, off of Mercury Polygram Records. I'm sorry. I kind of got a little distracted there. So that's when you will see her use her range a lot. Okay. Now, let's talk about, again, we discussed that they are writing their own music. They are musicians. I think, I'm not quite sure if she is a keyboardist, Tina Marie, but we know she plays the guitar. Angela Winbush is the keyboardist. She plays the piano. Okay. And so those are the things that separates them, but they're both producers. Angela pretty much writes for herself as well as write for other artists. And it won't be until she breaks out as a solo artist when she really and truly starts producing for other people. And Angela has said it's because the record companies, well, they said you can write, but they didn't give them responsibilities of being able to produce their own records. And it wasn't until Street Called Desire record, which has the hits I'll Be Good, You Don't Have to Cry, and Your Smile on it, when they were allowed to produce themselves because they had moved over to a different record company. Tina Marie pretty much was writing solely for herself. Of course, she had, co-writers as well as producers to help her with her projects. But Tina Marie was, pretty much hands-on without working with other artists. And if she wrote for another artist or produced other artists, I am unaware of that. So now here you have it. It's 1985. Angela is going to split from her group in 1986. And we understand what that was all about. It is what it is. I might talk about that on this channel. I'm not quite sure yet. And then Tina Marie, what does Tina Marie do after 1985? She released a record in 1986. It's not a good record. It's not a good performing record for her in 1986. It's not. And as I said before, Angela, she's pretty much about to break from her duo. And in 1987 is when we see Angela Winbush pretty much break out on her own. And that's when she is going to show everybody what she's made of on a solo effort. And this is when we get the Sharp record that goes to number 7 on the Billboard's charts and number 81 on the Billboard 200 charts. And the record is split. The Sharp record is split into a fast side and a slow side, a Quiet Storm side and a I guess you want to call it slamming side. I think they call it a slamming side on her record. And the first side is actually the Quiet Storm side. No, take that back. I'm sorry. The first side is a slamming side. And it starts open with Sharp, which is it's a decent song. It's pretty much a record of the time. The Sharp record is. It's a record of the time. If you really and truly want to get what I would call a good experience with Angela, full experience with Angela as far as just music standing the test of time, you really and truly need to just go ahead on and go over to the B side. Not that the A side on Sharp is not good. That's not what I'm saying, but the record is definitely of the time. And Angel, Hello Beloved, You Had a Good Girl, and No One Has Ever Cared Like You are definitely the must-go-to songs. What I like most about her is that you can tell that she's definitely trying to expand her sound, and she's definitely pulling in some other singers and producers. She's influenced by other singers and producers. For instance, like when I think about the song Sensual Lover. That song has been compared to Marvin Gaye's Sexual Healing. But when I think about Run to Me, I think Run to Me was a record on the single on the record where to me it was like you could tell she was trying to be Prince like. That she was definitely trying to be the Tina Marie lover girl, if you will. Tina Marie lover girl. So if I could compare a song besides Ooh La 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 and Angel, I would compare on the individual side, just Angela Winbush as a solo artist and Tina Marie as her solo self. Run to Me and Lover Girl would be similar songs, or I would say Angela Winbush's Run to Me would be like she's trying to duplicate Tina Marie's Lover Girl. I'm not saying that's what they did. I'm saying that's what it sounds like to me. And then I'm also loving the fact that in the song Sharps, you hear her say, he. And that, to me, that's that Michael Jackson. And what some people probably don't know about Angela Winbush is that when she was writing and recording with Renee Moore, they was definitely trying to capture that Michael Jackson sound. You can tell in her work that they were trying to do that. Their second record in 1981, Wall to Wall, was definitely their attempt at trying to have a duplicate of Michael Jackson's Off the Wall. They had the same, I think, engineer or producer or writer or something like that who Michael Jackson had worked with. And for the most part, it looked like, well, they tried. I just put it that way. It was a good attempt to mimic some of that Michael Jackson sound back then when she was with Renee Moore. And you could tell that she was definitely bringing that over onto this project with Sharp. I really and truly like it. And then you have Tina Marie. Well, then you have Angel. Of course, the standout, the number one R&B hit on Sharp is definitely Angel. And then in 1988, Tina Marie releases Naked to the World. And Naked to the World has the song Ooh La 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 on it, co-written by Tina Marie. And I think the guy's name is Alan McGuire, who would pretty much work with Tina Marie for a while, as a songwriter. And so that song is on there. On that record. And as I said, it's a great song. This is the first time that you hear Tina Marie with the Ooh La La in the Ooh La La song, holding that note like Angela Winbush held her note in Angel. And so I think, honestly, Angela calls it a yodel, her yodel. And so I think that this moment in time, because it was such a great song and it was played for Angela Winbush, it was number one on the R&B charts for 2 weeks in a row. But of course, I know she wasn't the first one to hold that note, because I'm thinking about Melba Moore in 1986 with the song Falling, as I said previously in another video. So you have that in mind. And so you can see these ladies pretty much using their octaves, if you will. And so 1988, you have Ooh La La with Tina Marie. So since we're comparing these songs, or chose these songs as in a versus kind of like way, so let's look at the similarities in the songs right now. The song is pretty much the same. There's similarities in it as well. So at this moment in time, since Angela was the first one to do it, we can easily say that Tina Marie has tried to duplicate that sound again. And it sounds like it's in the same pattern and in the same style. Angela starts out in that song pretty much just singing regularly, as well as Tina Marie, and then towards the end, you get this burst of sound, like these ladies like just really go for it and uses their uh maximum use of their vocal range while holding the note for an extended period of time, right? And guess what? Both of these ladies got a number one hit out of it. And for Tina Marie has said Rick James is like, of all the songs you would have a number one with, and the only number one song you would have, it would be Ooh La La La, and he hates the song. Rick James has been quoted as saying he does not like the song Ooh La La La. Go figure, right? So, anywho, so I think they're the same. I really and truly do think that they're the same. I almost want to say, is it a tie? Is it a tie? They're very similar. I'm going to say the winner would be Angela Winbush. I'm going to say Angela Winbush definitely wins in this category. She does. She wins because I'm thinking that the thing that probably sets Angela's version apart from Tina Marie's is the last note when Angela, I guess you would call it in the music, in music, you would call it the modulation that Angela uses at the end of the song is really and truly where she is like, okay, I'm going to do this again, but I'm going to do it in a different attempt. I'm going to easily go from one range to the next and do it effortlessly at that. And I have seen her do it, and I'm here to tell you, she's no joke. As she said on the Monique show in the Juke Joint, and this ain't no tape. Right? She definitely does it. So at this moment in time, we would definitely say that Angela Winbush's Angel wins out. It does. And these ladies, again, have a wonderful, wonderful catalog of music. They do. And I think I'm probably going to talk about them individually. I can feel it. It's coming up. But at this moment in time, I want to just remind you about that call of action. Yes, that call of action we're trying to get to, we're going to surpass the call of action of 1,000 subscribers. Yes. And we're going to achieve that by what? Hitting the subscribe, like, and share button. I thank you so much for tuning in over here at Ayo Pep. I appreciate it. Yes, I do. Where we, yes, or I, talk about your favorite R&B divas, in news and in entertainment, your favorite R&B divas of today and yesterday. Yes, we talk about them, and I appreciate you all coming over. And don't forget, over here at Ayo Pep, we believe in everybody putting your behind where your heart desires to be, that thing that you're passionate about, the thing that you want to do and yearn to want to do. Hey, you might want to follow in the footsteps of these divas and be musicians, right? And be recording artists. You might want to do that. Hey, I'm here to tell you, all you got to do is do it. There's nothing stopping you. Yes. And also, don't forget, I love you and God loves you best. That's right. That's what my mother always says whenever I leave her presence. She reminds me how much she loves me and that God loves me best. And I want to let you know the same thing too, that I love you and God loves you best. I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate you hanging in there with me for almost 40 minutes as we talk about the career of Angela Winbush and Tina Marie. And on that note, yes, I'm looking forward to seeing you next video. I look forward to that. And on that note, take care.